Right.
Okay.
Right.
Right.
This is what
Yeah.
one looks like.
Yeah.
This is where you peel it off.
Okay.
This is so weird. It's
You're the one that wanted to teach me
exaggerated.
this. Right. Okay.
Right.
That's where the blue
That
liquid
sticks.
goes from the adverts,
This
isn't it?
bit,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
This bit sticks to the underwear. This bit under here, right, are the
All right.
wings.
Ah.
They peel that off.
Yeah.
Oh, it makes it look like a right good Christmas present or something, doesn't
I
it?
told you it looks like a nappy. Yeah.
Yeah, it does a bit, and then
Yeah.
they wrap around the underwear as well. It makes it a bit more secure. That's why wings are better, because it makes it more
Ah.
secure
There you
than if
go.
you just did it like that. Okay? Do you
There you go.
understand now, Rob? And this is a sanitary towel.
Right.
Okay?
So like,
Tampons and Tampax are the same thing.
got you. Here to
Anyway,
give you
that's
wings.
one wasted. I'm glad I've just wasted that. You know what tax we pay on him, but there we go. It's
There you
worth
go.
it if I've educated you. All
Totally.
right.
Now I know all about them. Cheers. Greetings, EastEnders fans, and welcome to another episode of Albert Square After Dark, your weekly EastEnders podcast. This week, discussing the episode's broadcast between the 25th and the 28th of August 2025. It's nearly September. This is when the big stuff kicks off, and it looks like next week is going to be the start of cataclysmic events. Very, very exciting. And let me tell you, next week could be big for a number of reasons. Hello, Ree. How are you this week?
I'm all right, Rob. That were cryptic. How are
It was
you?
cryptic. It was indeed. Well, how am I? Let me tell you, I have had a week. I've had a
Oh,
week. It's
you've
been a
not
mo
told me about this week.
No, I haven't. It's been
Go on
something
then.
that I've had to deal with, and it's been really
Oh.
difficult and really, really sad. So, I think you'll remember this time last week, I've had a shave since the last time we spoke, right?
Hmm.
You know why I've had a shave since the last time we spoke? This is really difficult for me to say out loud. I discovered, I dis I discovered a grey hair. My
Oh my!
first,
I
my
knew you were
first
going to say
ever,
that. I
my
knew you
first
were going to
ever
say
one.
that.
I need to deal with the fact that I'm not a twink anymore.
Wow.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
yeah, Rob. Do
really,
you know what?
really
All right,
difficult.
fair. I'll be sad for you. Yeah,
Thank you.
I'm
Oh,
really
you look
sorry you've
it.
discovered your first
You
grey
look
hair.
devastated for me. Your first one though. Do you remember discovering your first one?
Yeah, we were at uni, Rob. I was
Were
19.
you?
You knew me. Yes, I was 19. All right.
Yeah,
All right.
I suppose 37 isn't bad in comparison, is it? But
I'm not even going to show people the top of my scalp. Right.
okay.
This is why I don't have sympathy. In fact, you know what? So I go into a cafe. Sorry to steal your thunder on this
Yeah, it's
grey
all right.
hair
I can.
story,
All
but
right, there, Thor. You take your thunder away.
I
That's
can
absolutely
top you
fine.
on, right?
Oh, of course you
See
can.
if you agree with my reaction to this. I don't know if you're going to tell me I'm so harsh. I go into a coffee shop when I'm at work, right? It's my local, great coffee.
Hmm.
Made friends with the guy behind counter, and I go in one day and he goes, "Oh, I'm loving your hair at the minute." And I was like, "Oh, thank you." Like, greys are just really coming through, aren't they?
I had a similar experience at work. Someone at work like literally turned around and went, "Oh, look at your beard! Oh, look at you! Look like Santa at the minute, aren't you?" I literally nearly had a nervous breakdown there and then,
Yeah.
and so promptly went home and shaved everything off my face. You will never see me with a beard again. Let me tell you.
Well, I don't. I think you suit a beard, Rob. I won't let
Well,
that get
tough.
you
It's
down. To be
gone.
fair.
It's gone. I am not. I am not. I'm not doing it. I'm
Oh no,
not
it's
doing it.
grey. That's
I
it.
no. I refuse. I'm not doing it. There's nothing on my head. I'm fine with that. So no, no grey hair is ever going to be
Well,
visible on me until I'm at least
I
70.
I kind of wasn't very kind to the guy
Were you
speaking to me
rude?
because he used to get so taken aback, rude. I just went to him. You know you're not supposed to say that to people, and he was like, "What?" But I like it, and I'm like, "Well,
It's
I
been
don't. It's not a
complimentary.
choice.
It's been
It's not a ch
complimentary. Well, it is a
yeah."
choice, really. You could have, if you were aware of it, then you could have done something about it. Technically,
What,
it is a
dye it? I
choice,
don't want to
like
dye
I
it. I ain't
did.
got time for dyeing it. I ain't got time for dyeing my hair.
Yeah, you
Come
didn't
on.
have time. You don't have time now. You certainly had time then when we were at uni
What do you
together.
mean? No, it
Oh,
weren't
what? This is.
then. This is
Oh, okay.
recent. Yeah,
Oh,
no.
oh,
This is
oh.
recent.
So he what?
Yeah.
He thought that you were deliberately going for some sort of Cruella de Vil look then.
Yeah, like just
Wow.
thought, I don't know. I don't know. I just wouldn't think of. that as being a thing to compliment people on. But do you know what? Maybe
There
I
you
should
go.
be embracing it.
You
'Cause
should be.
apparently it is cool, which is what my brother then told me when I told him this anecdote. He was like, well, actually, it's because it's cool now. I'm like, all right, well,
Right. Well,
take your word for it. That's
I
because
ain't
he's
bothered.
half grey.
I ain't bothered. Well, that's true. I ain't bothered about it being cool. It's fine. I'll just not be cool. That's absolutely fine.
Yeah, I'm all right not being cool as well.
I'm
Anyway.
embracing nothing. Let me tell you that for free. Right,
Oh
ladies and
dear.
gents, busy old week on EastEnders this week. We've actually got six
Mm.
storylines to discuss in the run up to what appears to be a pretty busy week next week. It's very, very
Mm.
exciting. Stuff is kicking off. So we better get on with this week's Albert Square After Dark. Right, let's kick off this week. We'll start off with, I think, the smaller stories because the bigger ones
Mhm.
sort of lead it in nicely to one another. It's as though they
Yeah.
tried to make the podcast easy for us this week, I thought. Very
Yes.
considerate of them.
Yeah. Somewhat
Um,
chronological this week.
absolutely. We'll start off with Phil, Julie, and Nigel. So, the big question from this, what the hell is Julie up to, may I ask you, lady?
Right. Right.
Go on.
Theory. Chucking it
Theory?
out there.
Yes.
I think that when Julie was looking for Nigel when he was missing,
Mm.
I think that she's actually met somebody else that we've not been
Ooh.
aware of. And
Yes.
she's got like a secret boyfriend,
Ooh.
maybe.
Maybe.
And that's why she's getting sketchy about the phone call. I don't know what else it could really be that she's not wanting to hear. I don't believe that it were her organising the car coming down and then she had another phone call after the car
Yeah,
had
yeah,
arrived, didn't she?
yeah, yeah. Yeah. So yeah, there's definitely something going on.
Mm,
Something that she doesn't want anyone else knowing about. Somebody else is on the other end of that phone that she doesn't want anyone else knowing about. I
mm.
think you're right. I think she's got some other secret relationship going on. I mean, because it was quite a while, wasn't it, since Nigel walked
Yeah.
out, and then she found him again.
I'm
But
sure she
then
said it was like 2 years or
it was
something.
something. It was at least a year, wasn't it? And
Yeah.
you kind of think. But then if she has got another sort of guy on the go, does he know about Nigel? Does he know where she is right now?
Yeah, this is what I was trying to think. Would she have told him? You would think so because she was sharing like Nigel's missing posts a lot like on social
Yeah,
media, which is how Jay found her.
so he must know.
Maybe he's okay with it.
Open
If
relationship,
he's knows the situation. Is it an open relationship? If this is
polyamory
the case, maybe it's just understanding of the
situation.
situation. Yeah,
Yeah, because it's
because
not like
a bit like
uh,
Reese, Sonia, and Debbie, innit? In a way.
I suppose in a weird. Oh, so you reckon this guy's going to turn up and approach Nigel with a pillow or something like that?
Oh, you never know. No,
You
can't
never
do
know.
that again. Come on.
No, no, I think not. Not to poor old Nigel. Yeah, so something's going on there. She's keeping a
Mm.
secret, and I suspect that Phil will probably find out what it is next week or the week after, whenever we see this story again.
He doesn't seem to have spotted any of the little signs, so it seems to be Nigel who's spotting all the clues at the minute. It's him who's
Mm,
more sus. So maybe it will be Phil, but Nigel will like put the doubt in his ear or something.
yeah, yeah, which
Mm,
is an interesting place to put Nigel because I think because Nigel's constantly full of self doubt about himself anyway, isn't he? So
yeah. Oh, like, so she don't gaslight him or anything.
I don't know. I feel like, but then she's come back and she's properly tried to take over Nigel's life.
Hmm.
Which we've said, okay, not the best way of dealing with it, but we
Yeah.
understand why she's doing it. But then if
Yeah.
she's got another relationship on the go, would she be that sort of dedicated to doing that, is my question.
Well, I think that she'd feel more guilty, and that could
Yeah,
explain why she's been so over the top, if anything.
yeah.
Because out of guilt,
Mm.
maybe if that is what these phone calls are, but I don't see what else it could really
She's
be. Do
married to
you?
Max. She's married to Max, I'm telling you now.
Oh God, no
Imagine.
way,
I mean,
no
obviously,
way,
no, I don't imagine Julie is in any way Max's type, or vice versa, to
no,
be fair,
or vice
at
versa. Yeah,
all. At
definitely.
all. But something odd's going on. But the arrival
Mm.
of the Morris Minor in the square, which apparently was
Yes.
Nigel's old car, I mean, that was nice. Phil and
Yeah.
Nigel went for a little drive about in that and spoke about, cars and
Cars.
women and all that kind of thing. I quite enjoyed Nigel wearing his dressing gown but still having a jaunty tie underneath it. That was cute. Quite
Yeah,
enjoyed
that's
that.
cute. It's very
I'm
Nigel,
obsessed with
that, ain't
Nigel's
it?
jaunty tie collection. I
Yeah.
absolutely love it. He's got about 28 of them, and I adore every single one of them.
Oh, would it? Hey, if he does have 28, he could wear one each day a month, couldn't
You
he?
could
That'd be nice.
in February you could do that,
In
yeah,
February, yeah, all right, fine.
and only February,
Only February.
yes. So we shall see what's going on there.
Mm.
The other small storyline, slightly, was Johnny and Callum. Johnny's back this week, all kitted and
Yes.
booted out in a new suit, and
Weird
Callum
earring. Was the earring
obviously
there
melts.
before?
I wondered about the earring. I think he did have an earring, but I think it might be a new earring.
Oh, okay. So it's a hoop. It maybe was a
Yes.
stud, and now he's gone for a hoop.
Well, I think he did have a hoop before, but I think it might be a bigger hoop. I think he's branched out
Yeah.
and
Oh,
bigger hoop.
okay.
It's like a
Yeah.
hula hoop the next time we see him. We're
Yeah.
like Whitney earrings the next time we see him. Um,
One big one.
yes, so he is back. He's sort of left Linda to kind of do her cruise on her own because apparently
Yeah.
some sort of work commitment, and he has a date with what's his name, Diego or something like
Dion.
that.
Dion.
Dion. That he's something beginning with D. I knew that much.
With
That
Dion,
he
yeah.
that he's met in Mexico, and
Yes.
Callum obviously is enraged with jealousy, and
Yeah.
he's in the Albert with Billy and Lexi,
Mm.
and this date is going on opposite. One of the favourite moments of the week was Elaine and the fan. I absolutely loved that moment. Brilliant.
Yes.
She's
I like
iconic.
that they mentioned a bit that Johnny were like, hey, you working
Mm,
here?
yeah,
Like, yeah, of
yeah.
course.
I
Give the
think
public what they want, you know.
which we do,
Drinks are
which
on the
we absolutely
house.
drinks on the
That's what they
house.
want.
Yeah, we absolutely do want that, and we've said for and. I did love Elaine behind the bar of the Vic. I absolutely did, but
Hmm.
I'm so happy with where she is now. I
Yeah,
think the suits her so much better. I love
agreed.
her. She's brilliant
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
And she's all behind this date, and the date seems to be going well, but Callum's kind of watching all jealous. Lexi, meanwhile, has her own little drama when she has her first period in the
A
toilet,
first what,
doesn't
Rob?
she?
You
Period.
can say the word, you know.
Period. It's embarrassing. Bless her. It's
It's
traumatic for a small girl to
it's
have her
not
first period, isn't
embarrassing.
it?
It's natural.
Well, it is natural, but it's embarrassing for Lexi, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, circumstance. I mean, it's not the ideal situation that it
No.
happens to be when you're not with any of your like female family members. To be
Exactly.
fair,
Well, yeah, she does sort of
yeah,
like miss the fact that her mum wasn't there for it. Johnny
yeah,
seems to know what to
definitely.
do though, mind. He kind of like overhears what's going on and then recommends exactly the right sort of Tampax thing. There's so many of them. There are so many of them. Wings.
It was sanitary
Um,
pads that he recommended,
is
Rob.
it?
They're
I
not
see.
tampons. They're different to
Tampons are the
tampons.
ones. We're going here. Tampons are the ones that you,
Yes,
yes, insert. Yeah, I know that. And then
yes, correct.
Tampax is
No,
kind of go over
Tampax
it
is
like
the
a
brand
plaster.
name of a Tampax is the brand name of a tampon. They're the same thing.
I thought Tampax was the one that went over like a plaster.
Like a plat. Oh, no, you're a man. Oh my God, you don't understand how it
Of course
works.
I
No, it goes
don't.
on the underwear. It doesn't stick on you.
Ah,
I've heard that men think some men think this. Sorry for anyone who can't see right now. Rob has gone
oh,
bright red.
I'm really
He's
sorry.
gone flushed.
Why would I know? If
This is
anybody,
genius. Live on air, Rob.
I've got it all hot.
Anyway, so what he
Yes.
recommends
Carry on. I need to just film with
is
this.
that
I need to
she.
recover.
Sorry, I
Right.
can't
Yes.
stop either. She gets
Whew.
the pads, the sanitary towels, pads, whatever you would like to call them. You've had a right biology lesson already, haven't you, Rob?
I've
We're
never
not even
understood
that
any of
far
this.
in.
I've never understood
So
any of this.
Johnny did have some good knowledge. I'll give him that. I did
Right.
think some of it was very stereotypical, like I'm a man and this is what I've learned about periods and this
Well, a
is what
man
we
did
would
write that
do
episode,
a
I
bit
would
like
say.
that. Yeah, I wasn't remotely surprised by that, given that part, honestly.
Yeah, yeah. Rob Gittins, I think, wrote that episode. So yeah,
Hmm.
maybe he kind of just
I mean,
turned
fair
around.
play,
Maybe
fair
he just
play.
typed it into Google and just sort of got the
Yeah.
basic information he needed, then put it in the script, and nobody corrected it.
I mean, no, it was fairly accurate, but it was a very like male response, I would say. I don't know,
Yes,
maybe I don't know. Something felt a
yes.
little unnatural about this is what you do. You do
Well,
this, and this.
he was sat there going on about ice cream, which I was like, right, yeah, that's yeah, because that's yeah, I get that. But then so hot water bottles. I thought that was when you were in labour.
Oh,
Do you
Robert.
do
So
you have
much
a
to
do you have
learn.
a
Yeah,
hot
you
water
use a
bottle
hot water bottle.
every time?
I mean, not in summer. Come on, you don't want to be
No,
like boiling hot because
yeah.
no, it does. It basically it helps with inflammation and helps
Oh,
like um I'm like pressing on my stomach here. Not that anybody can see, but putting it on there, it does help soothe the area and the pain.
right,
A
right.
bit like you get like a heat pad, if you've hurt your knee or something maybe, or your back, you get heat pads for your back. It's a
Yes,
similar
I know about
similar
them. Yeah,
thing, really, yeah. And
yes,
women might need them for the back as well, Rob. It can affect all different areas of your body.
yeah.
There are lots of things
Wow.
at play at that time of the month, Rob, just to let you know. But
I
no, you
just
don't stick them to you. They stick on the
thank you.
underwear.
Uh,
Just to
that makes.
clarify to anyone else
Thank
who might
you,
want to know that.
thank you. I do appreciate that. That now I know. That's all I would say. Now I know.
But anyway, Well, to be fair, that no, in all seriousness and in all fairness, Billy and Callum wouldn't probably know things like
Useless.
that.
Absolutely useless.
You would think that Lexi might, not Lexi, sorry, Lola might have gone over little bits before that, but I'm not sure. I feel like
Well, I
Kathy
don't know where
would
Johnny
be
got
the
this
only
information
person.
from.
He said Nancy. He said
Oh,
he
right.
used to
Oh,
like
yeah, of
helping
course he did.
Nancy,
Yeah.
and she used to
Yeah.
struggle at that time of the month. But
Fair
which you
enough.
can believe, you might help your sister, and yeah,
Yeah.
fair enough. And I actually do respect him saying go and get chocolate because that is one
Yeah.
piece of advice I would give out as well. Just go and get them. Whoever it
Chocolate,
is
ice
who's
cream, and a hot
struggling
water
at that
bottle.
time of the month, go and get them chocolate. I'd just say chocolate
And wings.
personally. Anyway.
What you need.
Anyway, sorry.
There we are then.
Let's move on.
I
But
got a lot.
obviously, this enamours, is that the word? You know, Callum's like, oh wow, he's just amazing. Oh, Johnny's definitely the one. Look, he knows how to handle
Mm,
Lexi.
mm.
Bit of a strange dynamic, really, because in my head, Callum's thinking he'd make a great stepdad, even though Callum's already a stepdad, if you know what I
Callum's a
mean.
scene. Yeah, I think it did help. It did help a lot. But Johnny says to him, well, the date with Dion didn't go that well, but do you know what? Me and you should probably cut it there. I think we've
Yeah.
probably done. It's not good for either of us. You know what I mean? And Phil's going to beat me up if he sees me and you together again. So let's just cut it there. And Callum looks pretty gutted about that.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, we know Ben is back soon.
Hmm.
Where are you with? I mean, I know ultimately we're sort of, you're sort of like I don't care either way. But in terms of who Callum should be with at this point, what do you reckon?
I mean, honestly, it makes way more sense for him to be with Johnny, doesn't
We've
it?
said this. Sorry, Allen fans,
Callum's a
but it does.
copper,
Yeah,
Johnny's a lawyer, so
yeah,
you know he's not he won't be married to someone dodgy anymore. I mean, okay, some of Johnny's things might be somewhat ethical, but you know, unethical, like you know
yeah.
the whole Keanu thing. But whatever, you
Well,
know.
yeah, there is that. Yeah,
But yeah, it makes more sense. But I don't understand how they're bringing Ben back. Maybe if I understand how in what capacity Ben's going to come back, I might go, well, actually, it makes more sense. But for me, Callum's already cheated on Ben now.
may as well
So is
go.
that not
Yeah, yeah.
like done? Would it
I
wouldn't
mean,
surely it would be done if Ben knew,
if Ben knew,
right?
well, presumably he is going to find out when
Yeah.
when he comes back. Apparently, by the way, Max Bowden has done an interview and said that the reason Ben is back in the UK is because he's been transferred.
Fair, okay, that makes sense. That's
Which
fair.
it makes more sense. It does make more sense, but I don't know. I mean, we're going to see him soon. There's been pictures released. It seems that Callum and Ben do have a reunion of sorts, but whether it ends well remains to be seen. And obviously, Johnny is going to be there in the mix as well. I've got to be honest, I do think that Callum and Johnny could make a future together, but I have a feeling that's not what I'm supposed to be thinking.
Do you though? Because I feel like that does make sense. And then when Ben comes back, it's going to be a strange dynamic. Do you think Callum will just forget about Johnny as soon as Ben's
Probably.
back then? Do you
Probably.
reckon?
Oh God, yeah. God, yeah, yeah.
Interesting.
I do, I do. I think it will be the. I think it will just be like Callum will realise just how idiotic he's been without Ben, and
Ah,
all it was
okay.
that he missed him and loved him so much, and it'll just they'll do that sort of thing. I don't think that Callum and Johnny they're going to throw that much dedication into. I really, really don't, which is a shame because actually I think they
Then
work
don't
quite
bother
well
at all.
together.
Yeah,
Well, there
so
is
do
that.
I.
But I don't know. I guess we'll see. If I tell you what, if Ben Wadey's come in and decided that Ben and Callum were breaking up and he's going to put Callum and Johnny together,
Fair. No, I
brave
agree.
man, and I will
Very
be
brave.
supportive of it. But I don't know. We'll have to wait
I,
and see.
I think if they pace Ben, then if you're saying he's going to get transferred, if they pace it, it could kind of be believable. They bring Ben back to the UK on a
Yeah,
transfer.
yeah.
He saves a good couple of months, good behaviour. They could let him out on a tag, maybe. That won't be that unbelievable, if I'm honest with you.
I still
That
bet he
could work.
escapes. I still bet you 50 quid he escapes when he's over it.
Bet
We
you a
shall
tenner he
see.
done. Tenner. I
Tenner.
think we've already done that handshake,
Yeah.
haven't
Wait,
we?
I'm
Yeah.
glad it's gone down to a tenner. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
we'll put it down
yeah.
to a
No
tenner.
doubt.
Right, ladies and gents, let's move on to the next story. So, on to Oscar now and the arrival of Anthony. Who Anthony coming back, right? He is. I'm gonna be lying to you. He's just as I remember him.
Yeah, do you know he even looks the same though?
Oh, he
Fair
hasn't aged
play
a
to
day, has
him.
he? He's
He's
not aged a
literally not
day.
aged. No,
No,
not
he
one little
really,
bit.
really hasn't.
But yeah, he's still a stick in the mud, isn't he? Bless him.
Yes, and a bit sanctimonious, as he always
Yeah.
used to be, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I thought there were some interesting points raised with Anthony this week. The fact that he's come back and actually he sees his role as being the good son, and
Hmm.
I 100% believe that Anthony would believe that of himself as well.
Yeah. Well, yeah, totally.
Mm.
What defines good in his head? I'm the successful doctor,
Yeah,
so therefore I'm the good son,
yeah.
regardless of what Paul was like, to be quite honest.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm,
But he's obviously come back and discovered that Patrick is sort of scared and terrified of leaving the house, and that he's
yeah.
not really wanting to get married all that much. And so it doesn't take long for him to sort of find out what's gone on.
Hmm.
And he's quickly at war with Howie as well. Who I think are we at the stage now where we're thinking that Howie's had a bit of a personality change at this point.
It is a bit odd, all of this. I feel like it's leading to some bigger fallout. I almost
I
feel like Howie's going to leave
I
because
was
of
just about to
this.
say that. I feel like this is leading to a Howie exit.
Surely, because I don't know how he's going to fit back into the Truman Fox
No,
household after this
neither do
at
no, they're
all.
surely not going to forgive him for this, are they, when this all comes
No.
out?
And it's definitely going to come out,
I wonder if he's going to be on the
right?
receiving end of that gun.
No. Oh, potentially. It's almost like Oscar and Lauren though are like now on the same side
Mm,
because they've all got something to lose. I feel because obviously Lauren tried to say to him like, "Well, if Oscar goes down, you're going down with us," and he's like, "And if I go down, you're coming down with me." So now they're
well,
all
Oscar's not got anything to lose by the end of the week, I would
no.
say. Like it's all out, and he's been not forgiven, but he's been released by the police, so
Mm.
they're not continuing the inquiry. So I would say that he's
Do you reckon Oscar? Do you reckon whenever Patrick and Yolanda do get married, Oscar's going to be there listening to the best man speech, and then he'll go, "No, I can't do this, Howie. We've got to tell them everything." Maybe something like
maybe.
that.
Or I feel like Anthony's attentions are going to go from Oscar to
Ah,
Howie, and he's going to do his own
yeah,
investigating because they're not
true.
getting on. They don't trust each other. Anthony punches him in the face this week, which I thought was a slight hypocrisy, considering that they were talking about Patrick being assaulted in his home in his own home,
Yeah,
and then he literally assaulted Howie in his own home.
in his own home. Yeah,
Yeah,
so true, so true. But there you go. He did
there
it.
you
I was
go.
quite surprised at him for doing that, actually.
I wasn't. He always was a little bit hot-headed in that respect.
Yeah,
There is
true.
some of the Paul. A little bit similar to Paul, and he'd like to admit. I would say. In that
Okay,
regard.
some traits are there.
In
Yeah.
terms of temperament, I would
Mm,
say that there are
okay.
similarities there, which is interesting. And a nice amount of Paul talk this week as well. I was pleased to hear because I think we forget about Paul sometimes, and he was
Yeah.
quite a big part of Patrick's life at one point. So nice to
Such
hear
a
him
shame that they
mentioned.
killed Paul off. I used to love Paul.
I would argue we never saw Paul's body.
Is it another
I don't think we
one?
did. I don't. I mean, someone will correct me, and fair play if you
Mm.
do. But I've got a feeling that Paul's death was he got taken away in a van, and then afterwards, and was
Oh,
killed
I
off
think you might be
screen.
right. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think you're right, actually.
madder
Yeah,
things have happened is what I would say. Madder things
yeah,
have happened. Um, so yes, because Anthony is sort of there, and he is, let's call it, sifting up things that are uncomfortable. Jack and Denise end up having a conversation, and Jack ends up telling Denise exactly what happened, about what he
mm,
discovered last week. And Denise promptly storms round to deal with Oscar, and then is dealt a few home truths herself, which I have to say I agreed with every single one of them. You kept your gob
so
shut
did
about
I.
Chelsea and the crush, and by the way, Denise, it's not like Oscar is trying to cover up a murder, is it?
Yeah, it's not like he's killed somebody, is it?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
I
that were a
thought fair
nice
play.
little.
I thought fair play about that. And funnily enough, Denise soon shut her gob after that as well, didn't she?
Didn't she just? I
Mm.
mean, they are different circumstances, but
They are, and
I
I get it,
think
but
that
at the same time,
I think the fact that had Oscar not shown any remorse, she probably still would have been on a high horse. But given that she got those
yeah,
home truths thrown at her and could see that Oscar
mm,
was genuinely sorry, I think she was like, all right, fair play.
yeah.
But yeah, wow.
Pierre Moliere is amazing. I love
He
him. He's
is,
so good at everything, at every part of it. He can do all the serious acting, but he's also got fantastic comic timing. He's brilliant at the
yes.
comedy. That little scene in the police interrogation room where he
Yeah,
walked in and was sort of like, had no comment as soon as policeman walked in.
yeah.
Apparently, that was improvised, that line.
That were brilliant. That were genius. He really does remind me of Sean Slater, though. He really reminds
Yeah.
me of Sean.
But then when he's all broody, he is Max's son.
Yeah, true. Very true.
A
Very
billion
true.
percent. Like I get what you're talking about when you mentioned the Sean thing, but I've said it before and I'll say it again. I don't want that to happen because
No, I know.
that is a waste of fantastic casting in terms of
Yeah,
they have cast Max's son down to perfection in Oscar. I think he's
I agree.
brilliant. I cannot wait for Max to come back and for those two to start sharing scenes together. And when do you think Max is going to come back?
We keep speculating this. There's not really been an official announcement. Although they did when did they do the press pictures? About
A
what, six
while back
weeks ago?
now.
Two
A
months
while
ago?
back. Yeah, I reckon we're in the next I reckon in the next 2 weeks. And I wouldn't be
Oh,
surprised if he
that
show
soon.
well, I wouldn't be surprised if he shows up at the end of next week
Interesting.
when all this gun
Okay.
drama's gonna kick off. And maybe this is what brings him back in case Oscar is either on the receiving end of it or has done it
Well,
himself and Max is forced to come back and deal with it.
yeah, it's going to be something like this because obviously, God, there's so much happened this week. So let's fast forward a little bit then. So obviously, we see Harry hides a gun.
Yeah, we'll
Oscar sees that Harry's
talk about
hidden
the Harry stuff
something.
in a
Yeah.
bit. Yeah, but yeah, how Oscar finds this. Why he found this gun, I don't know.
We assume it's Oscar. We didn't actually see Oscar take it.
We didn't, but I feel like it definitely is
It
Oscar,
was.
right? It
Yeah,
must be.
surely.
Yeah. Although why
And
he'd
Harry
want
did
to, why
do
he'd
a
want a
great
gun
job
at this
hiding it.
stage? No, he didn't. He did a terrible
He
job at
like made
hiding
it
it.
look more obvious by putting stones on top of the tile afterwards, which
May
is
as
like,
well.
well, that's
Like,
obvious.
there was just bins and everything around everywhere. Like, we
Yeah,
could just
yeah,
throw it in one of them instead of burying it under gravel. Like, no one will ever see this. This will baffle
yeah.
people. I don't know why Oscar wanted it though. Why? What's it for? Because it's not like
Because
the Fat Mike stuff's still not going on though, is it? Like that's dealt with. So what's he need a gun for?
I don't know, is it dealt with though? He's still being like, we're still meant to believe that he's quite on edge after his time inside. So maybe he just
Maybe.
thinks he needs that protection. He's been sleeping with a knife in his room.
True, true, true. But I didn't. I kind of thought that once Lauren had given Mike the money, and we've not seen hide or hair of Mike since then, that I kind of thought the Mike stuff was over, and that Oscar was feeling a bit sort of more secure.
No, I could see it being believable that we're supposed to think Oscar would still feel like a bit on edge, like I said, with him still sleeping with a knife in his room.
Mm,
And this is why I'm thinking, like what you've just said, Max is gonna come back somehow with the gun involved, but I just don't know what scenario they're gonna be in. It's gotta
mm.
be Fat Mike though, because who else would Oscar pull a gun out on? Not Howie. I don't think it warrants a gun on Howie.
No, neither do I. But who knows? It just seemed odd that Oscar would want the gun in the first place. You might be right. Like that it's got to do with security. Go on.
Or Louis could find it and then it's going to end up somewhere else on the square. It's going to be a
Mm.
bit of, it's going to get passed around the square. Then Joel will end up with it somehow, maybe.
Yeah, well, that's a dangerous scenario with Joel
Mm,
with a gun. Let me tell you.
mm,
So obviously once because Oscar goes and apologizes to Patrick. He confesses
yeah.
everything this week,
Hmm.
and obviously Patrick is devastated. Oscar finds himself in the back of a police car, but quite quickly Howie manages to convince him. You know what? Let's give him a second chance. Obviously purely for his own self-interest, but he's
Mm,
like, let's give him a second chance. So Oscar is released, and then bless him, he goes around Patrick's house with a bottle of rum, which I thought was so
yeah.
cute. I mean, Yolanda's did make a good point and say, "Are you old enough to buy that? How did you get that bottle of rum?" But never mind. Um, but Patrick sort of just sends him on his way, tells him to take his rum with him, tells him to stay
Mm.
away. I'm sad. I want them to sort this out because I love Patrick and Oscar together.
I think they will because you remember last week we were speculating Patrick would be more forgiving and it'd be Yolanda who'd have an issue.
Mm.
I actually think because Patrick's decided to not press charges, Yolanda's been quite forgiving. I think she said
Yeah,
a quote from the Bible, about forgiveness or
yeah,
something.
yeah.
But it's Anthony's gone and warned Oscar off,
Mm.
so it might be a few weeks where they're not. Then maybe he'll get it out of Oscar about Howie. Then he'll trust Oscar more. I don't know, but I think that they are going to end up being friends again.
I
Surely, it's a
hope
nice
so.
little dynamic, isn't it?
Well, there's three different ways that it's going to go with the gun drama next week, right?
Oh
So
God! Oh,
either
is it next week? The drama's actually next
yeah.
week.
Oh, it's all kicking off next week, mate. It's big
Oh,
week next week. Things are happening. Big things of a big
bring it
nature.
on!
Three. It's going to go one of three ways, right? Either Oscar's going to accidentally shoot somebody. B.
Mm.
Oscar is going to be on the receiving end of the gun, or he is going to save the day somehow, and Patrick will instantly forgive him for everything.
Oh yeah, okay, could be. Yeah, yeah, that'd be a good redemption actually if he saves Patrick from a
Mm,
scenario. Maybe
yeah,
Patrick will get hold of the gun and he'll be scared because he's being scared of stuff and
possible,
try and use it or something.
possible. But either
Mm.
way, Patrick does say to Yolandi, well, says to the whole family, "I want to postpone the wedding."
Yeah.
which kind of breaks Yolandi's heart, but she is supportive and understanding. It was an
Mm.
interesting sort of comparison to the stuff that went on with Pastor Clayton with Yolandi this week, and I kind of understood where she was coming from as well. That was a good
Yeah.
comparison.
I thought it were a good parallel in a way, yeah,
Yeah.
about them being her feeling stripped of being a strong woman and him feeling the
Mm.
same about. I felt so sorry for Patrick this week because
I
even though
know,
he's
bless
found
him.
out it's Oscar, it's still affected him, hasn't it? It's still
Yeah,
already
took away his
had that
spirits, bless
traumatic
him.
effect on him.
Yeah.
Oh, but I was
Well,
going to say, obviously, as well in this, Peter's found out that Lauren knew about it all
yes.
as well. He's tried to kick Oscar out. What did you think to that, Peter kicking Oscar
Well, it
out?
didn't. It didn't last very long. I mean, I
Well,
get
no.
it. I do get
Yeah.
it why he's. I mean, because we love Oscar, we're on Oscar's side. But I feel like
Yeah.
I do understand where Peter's coming from.
Same.
It doesn't last very long though, does it? Because as soon
No.
as Oscar's released from prison, Peter's very quickly like, oh, well, don't do it again, and then everything's fine as far as Oscar's living arrangements are concerned.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just feel for him. I really do because I feel like in Oscar actually there is a very very good person, but he just deals with things badly.
Yeah, he just makes bad choices. Yeah, and
Yeah.
yeah, deals with it badly. But his intentions are,
Yeah,
well,
he's a better
obviously
person
his
than
intention.
Max. He's a better person
Yeah,
than Max, isn't he? Yeah,
yeah. But I
which
don't.
means it just means that the dynamic between Max and Oscar is going to be fascinating. I think
It
it
is going to
really is.
be. Well, I hope that he is back next week. Then, Max, I'm here
As
for
soon as
that.
possible, as far as I'm
It
concerned. Bring
really
it
it is
on,
a massive sore point for Oscar, isn't it?
isn't it? Just yeah,
Anytime someone says you just like your dad, that's a real
yeah,
trigger for him, isn't it?
yeah. Which is fascinating in itself. It really is.
Definitely.
He just doesn't get on with either of his parents. His mum's abandoned him, and as far as he's concerned, Max is the scum of the earth, or rather,
Mm.
Max has completely abandoned him. Um, yeah, and there are some similarities between Max and Oscar in terms of sort of the immediacy in which they respond to situations and the bad decisions that they
Impulsiveness.
make, the impulsiveness, but at the same time, Oscar has more regret of his actions than Max ever does, I think.
Yeah, he's a
Acts like less of a victim than Max does, I think.
Yeah, I can see that. He's more accountable as well.
Yeah,
He's got a bigger conscience, I'd
yeah,
say. Because
yeah.
I think underneath Oscar's bad guy stuff, he is a bit like I think I said before, a bit Freddy almost, like a
Mm,
bit
yeah,
soft.
yeah,
Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
yeah. He's a very versatile character. I can't wait to see more of Oscar in the future. I think he's going to be a big, big part of the show moving
Mm.
forwards. Very exciting. Right, let's move on now to Harry and Oki. So, after the events of last week, Kojo is a little bit weary around Oki for understandable reasons, and I feel like that little faux friendship is done with, don't you? I feel like Kojo's not going to trust him again.
I think now that George is involved with the flat as well, everyone's going to
Mm.
know not to go down there with Kojo. But then again, I don't know. Maybe Kojo will be convinced, or maybe even Oki will threaten him or something at some point. You don't know, do you?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Oki's not messing around anymore. I feel like he's not
No.
pretending, and I feel like Harry is telling Kojo, I think he's being more truthful with Kojo now about exactly what's going on, isn't he? Because he did say to Kojo at one point, "Look, I haven't got a choice here. We still need to pay Ravi back." So I think Kojo sort of kind of gets what's going on a little bit more this
Mm.
week.
I'm glad that they've put in that George can go to the flat though, and that George is going to start doing that because it does
Yeah,
mean that hopefully they're not going to use Kojo's flat. Maybe this is the end of the Kojo scenario, like the Kojo side of things.
I
Yeah,
don't
but
know.
even Ravi were like to Urki last week, what are you doing? Why were you giving him drugs? Like, do you want
Yeah.
to just tell everybody what we're doing or what?
Yeah, I mean, Oki's slightly unhinged, I think. He's a little bit sort
Mm.
of. There was a really, really interesting conversation between him and Harry this week where they were sort of just discussing the origins of Oki's name. And it turns out
Yeah.
that Oki called himself that because in order to sort of raise himself up the ranks of the gang world, he would always just say okie doke to any instruction that was given to him, which means that the inclination eventually being that he's ready and willing to do absolutely anything that's asked from
Hmm.
him, including shooting people if that's if needs be.
Which was definitely not asked by Ravi, who was
No,
absolutely appalled when he saw it and like,
yes,
what are you doing?
exactly. Like he's literally waving this gun around in the archers, threatening Harry. You saw the gun this week, Ray, I take it, yeah? You're aware of the
I
gun
did
now.
see it, yeah, several times, yes.
Good, good, good. As long as we're clear. And yeah, like you say, Ravi walks in and is like, what? What is
Mm.
this? What is going on, please? Tells Harry to hide it in Kojo's flat, which in itself I feel is idiotic. Um,
Yeah, true, very true.
and like, what? Why? Why does it have to be hidden in Kojo's
Mm.
flat? Like, it's a gun. Hide it anywhere in the world that's nowhere near any of you. You know what I
Us,
mean?
yeah,
Yeah. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like, that would be sensible.
yeah,
How about you leave the square? That might be
yeah,
sensible to do with this gun.
yeah.
Let's try that. Maybe chuck it in the Thames.
I was just going
Anything
to
you
say there's a big
like.
river in
The
London.
big
Maybe
river.
lob it in there.
Like,
Yeah.
no, we don't need this gun. Oki's got it just all big and intimidating. Ravi at no point has asked anybody to kill anybody. Ravi has
Nope.
no need to get a gun. Ravi's more than capable of ripping people apart with his bare hands. He doesn't need a gun.
No, he definitely doesn't need a gun.
So Harry decides to bury it in the little yard next to the archers, cover it in gravel, and no
I
one will
thought
ever
we
see it
dodgy alley
there.
or something like that.
Honestly, Ravi made a very good point. It's like the way that Harry dealt with that gun was straight out of the school of Vinny, I thought.
Weren't it?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's very true. Wiped it with his t-shirt and then touched it again with his hand.
yeah. Oh,
Um,
that'll baffle
like he
that'll
held it in
baffle
his t-shirt.
forensics.
Yeah.
Like they won't have a clue what about. They will never ever bring it back to you on that account, Harry.
No.
But yeah, Oscar sort of sees him hiding it, and funnily enough, when Harry goes to retrieve the gun later, it's gone.
Hmm.
Which I don't think Ravi's going to deal with very well. I think he's so irritated by everybody around him at this point, isn't he, Ravi?
Yeah.
We are one step away from Ravi turning around like an old cartoon villain and saying, "I'm surrounded by idiots."
I mean, maybe Ravi didn't pick his team in the best way that he could have
No,
for this, really.
no, he's not got the best sort of like subordinates around him in everything that he's trying to
No.
do here, has he? He really, really hasn't.
No.
And Oki is a liability, I would say. I'd be
He's a
getting rid of
wild
Oki.
card, isn't
He
he?
really is. I'd be getting rid of
Mm.
Oki if I was Ravi because he's
Same.
dangerous and he's already causing problems. And if
Yeah.
Ravi kind of stopped trying to villainize Harry in the situation,
Mm.
he would see that Oki is the main bone of contention throughout all of this.
Yeah, definitely. But again, does this come from, like you were saying last week, Ravi's desperation for money and the fact that he's not got anyone else that he can rely on or some? Maybe though, like you say, Erky's got himself quite a good rep in that kind of world, so maybe he's giving him more credit than he should, in fairness.
Well, it's interesting that it kind of takes me back to when Ravi beat him up because I'm sort of like
Yeah.
he's a lot more sort of unhinged now than he was then.
I
So I
know what you
sort
mean.
Do you know what I mean? I feel like I wouldn't be beating somebody up who's quite cheerfully waving a gun around at this stage. It's like, are we supposed to believe that Oki completely and utterly appreciates and understands the hierarchy that's going on here, and that Ravi is not to be argued with under any circumstances, even if he occasionally hands him a beating?
I know I did think this because I thought, why would he not pull it out on Ravi? But Ravi must have connections then or
I
something, so he
assume
knows
so.
not to.
Yeah.
But then if his connections are that good, why is he using someone like Erky?
Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm sure there's better staff. Even
Yeah.
Harry. Like, I get why he's keeping Harry around because of the whole money
Mm.
thing, but at the same time, I feel like I would think of something else to do with Harry at this stage.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Definitely. Also, Harry's had other stuff going on this week. So he and Gina
Mm.
starting up properly, but apparently they've not slept together yet. Am I right in that? Or not
Well,
much?
yeah,
Or at all?
it feels like Harry is sort of now. What's he doing here? He's sort of taking things slow with Gina because he's
Yeah,
worried about George finding out too
George.
much about what's going on, which seems fair enough.
Oh, I didn't understand that logic because I thought he knows you were his daughter anyway.
Yeah,
So, I mean, I thought obviously there were a couple of times this week where you were making excuses. Obviously, Gina were trying to be like, come on, let's go back to Kurjo's flat. Obviously, he didn't want to go back to Kurjo's flat. Then
yeah,
she suggested Junior's, and then he said something like, oh, you're special. I don't want us rolling around someone else's apartment or
yeah.
something. Are we meant to
Yeah.
believe that?
I don't
What do
know
we
because
take from that?
he slept with Penny in his first 5 minutes of arriving, didn't he?
But
So
this is what I mean. But is that so? Is this us meant to think? Well, actually, yeah, he did that with Penny because he was never serious about her. But oh no, Gina is girlfriend material. He don't want to treat her like
mm,
that. Or was it just like you say, he's a bit reluctant to get too close because of George? But then, like I said, George already knows that they're an item, kind of. So
yeah.
what's the point?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't
Some
know.
things didn't quite add up
Something
on that
is
front
there
for
something
me.
else going on there that we're not
Yeah,
sure of? Do we think?
this is what I'm wondering.
Put a pin in that, maybe. Put a pin in that.
Hmm.
The other thing that's kind of going on with this week is the phones thing, and he employs Joel to now what is going on here? They're wiping the phones of all their memories so they can resell them. Is that what's happening?
Yeah, wiping the
Right.
phones and you resell them. Yeah,
Right.
that's
Okay.
exactly what's happening.
Okay, cool. So there's 50 phones that need wiping. Joel's
Yeah.
an expert. We've discovered in just completely and utterly wiping anything. He's a hack master. He knows exactly what he's doing.
I reckon their generation could. If you told him how to do it, I think they'd do it no problem, to be
Probably.
fair.
I wouldn't have a
Yeah.
clue, would you?
Uh, I don't
I
know.
don't.
Can you not just reset an iPhone? Is that not how you
I've
do it? You
no
got to do
idea.
more.
I've
Yeah, me
absolutely
neither.
no
So yeah,
idea.
no, I don't have a clue.
I've got a
Yeah.
clue. They're wiping it and everything. I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't know what's going on. So Joel and Tommy are wiping these phones because Joel wants the money for this concert, this gig thing of Drake Zagan, which is costing him 45 quid, by the way. Drake Zagan ain't
Yeah.
daft, is he? He's not
He is
daft.
not daft. He's
He's
spreading
not
spreading the
daft.
important message, Rob, at a
I mean,
good price, a bargain, if
but
anything,
it was,
right?
yeah, absolutely. I'd pay more, wouldn't you? I'd pay more,
Yeah,
much more,
I might
double the
do.
price. Yeah. I, I mean, how many people do you reckon that he's going? I mean, if we're to imagine that Drake Zagan is this sort of Andrew Tate figure,
Mm.
like, I wonder how many people he's actually going to have going to this. What would you even call
Well,
it? A meeting, a gig? It's not a gig, is it? It's sort of like
be
a
like an
gathering.
event, almost
Yeah.
like a TED Talks, probably, isn't it? You
Yeah.
know,
Drake talks. Yeah.
Drake Talks. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, to be fair, a lot of if there's that many kids who like watch him on YouTube, they probably idolize this guy. So yeah, people
Mm,
would happily pay for it and go see him live. I mean, it's an event, isn't it? It's what you spend all your time watching on YouTube. Why wouldn't you
yes.
go, right? Surely.
Indeed, yeah. Joel's behaviour this week again takes another turn when he goes absolutely ape in the calf at Amy and Lily. I mean,
Mm.
he's not well, this kid. He really, really isn't.
Yeah, he's really not well. So how did that all start? He and Tommy have sat down. What were they discussing? Oh,
Well,
just general
they were just sort of discussing general
toxic
stuff.
masculinity stuff, weren't it?
Yeah. By the way, Tommy, I 2 weeks ago we were saying, oh, I don't think Tommy's going to get himself involved in this war very at all. I think he's quite disgusted by Joel's behaviour. Oh no, he's there. He seems to be, but then I don't know if he is fully there. Joel is talking at him a lot, and Tommy's nodding along quite a lot, and I
It's
can't
almost like he's
decide.
quoting him, isn't it?
Yeah, but I can't quite decide whether Tommy actually believes everything that Joel's saying to him, or whether he's just sort of nodding along in order to keep a friendship in his life.
It does feel like quite the turn that Tommy wasn't buying it, but were kind of listening to him, and now he's like literally reciting it. But
Yeah.
then I wonder, is that because of this Zoe, not Zoe, sorry, Stacey stuff?
Mm.
Is Tommy genuinely been
Well,
convinced by
yeah.
Joel with all that? Because he's commenting on stuff as well
Yeah,
anonymously
so it
on
turns out that
Stacey's posts.
yeah, because it turns out that Tommy's got a fake profile on
Mm,
social media in order for his parents not to stalk him, which isn't the worst idea in the world. But he's been liking a load because obviously Stacey's videos got exposed by
mm,
Joel, which Tommy knows, right, that
yeah.
Joel did this, and he is, liking all of these posts. Now, again, is he liking these for Joel's benefit or because he genuinely believes what's being posted about Stacey?
Do you know what? I feel like he did genuinely believe it. I know what you're saying
Mm.
though. It feels
No,
like such a
I agree.
turn,
I
but
don't know is the thing. I don't know which one I'm supposed to be believing.
or maybe Tommy's not sure. Maybe
Mm.
Tommy's like open to hearing it from him. I mean, Tommy's feeling like a victim, isn't he? Let's be
Yeah.
honest, this week. So who better to blame? Your mates in your ear telling you it's all women's fault and
Yeah.
all these beta males, right? And
Mm.
we're the alpha males.
Yeah.
Why would you maybe not start believing it when you're feeling such a victim yourself? I don't
Mm.
know. It kind of makes sense. But I'll tell you something. Obviously, what you were just about to say then about Joel and him really going quite wild in the cafe, which I did not expect, by
I
the
mean,
way.
he's not hiding it anymore, is he? He's not
No.
bothered. Joel doesn't care. Because they're sat there chatting in the calf, and then I think
Mm.
Joel's trying to sort of come on to these women that are sat opposite. I kind of wonder
Oh.
if what really triggered him and set him off was the fact that Lily and Amy came in and started giving him a mouthful in front of these girls, and he was embarrassed. And then
And
doesn't
Joel
help him.
thought you were in there with that girl who were actually giving
Yeah,
him
which
weird
he
looks.
100% wasn't. Like,
Yeah, he misread that. Yeah, if that's what he did think.
yeah,
Yeah.
completely. But then again, I think in Joel's mind, he kind of probably thinks that all women are attracted to him in some weird way as well.
Or that because she were looking at him, she'd
Yeah.
be, that were her showing her interest or.
Because the hilarious thing is that Joel is actually terrible with women. And I mean, obviously, terrible with women apart aside from his attitudes. Like, he's
Mm.
really bad at talking to them. Like, I remember at the jacuzzi party that Amy threw a few weeks back, and Joel turned up. He literally went up to one of the girls and was like, "So, want a boyfriend?" Like he's really bad at it.
Yeah, but is he? He managed to convince Avani that time.
I know, but Avani was feeling really fragile at the time, wasn't she? So he was able to just sort of get inside her head
Mm,
quite quickly, and very quickly Avani saw what sort of person he was.
true.
So he's
Eventually,
not gonna. He's
after
not.
it,
It's not
yeah.
like he's gonna get back with Avani ever again. Like Avani thinks he's an absolute scum of the earth. Yeah, Amy starts giving him mouth, and so does Lily. Quite enjoyed you and your incel curtains.
Oh yeah, that was a good one. Yeah.
Interesting though, this is the first time that we've heard Joel actually referred to as an incel as well. Like Amy actually used those words to him, so
Yeah, true. I mean, he doesn't think of himself as an
of course he
incel
doesn't.
though. But
No,
arguably now, well, is he? Would he consider himself celibate though? I don't know.
it's
I
not.
don't think
Yeah,
he
this is
would.
what I mean. It's a whole
Yeah, it's the
it
two.
branches
Yeah,
out,
yeah,
doesn't it?
yeah,
It's like it's an
yeah,
umbrella term for it
yeah.
all. I think like the sort of against women thing. I think it's sort of it started off as involuntary celibacy, and I
It's not
think
as
that still kind of goes
literal
on. Yeah, but I feel
anymore.
like
Yeah,
I feel like people still describe Andrew Tate as an incel, even though
yeah,
we know he's not celibate.
yeah.
So I feel like it's an umbrella
Mm.
term at this point. And yeah, Joel goes absolutely apeshit and throws a chair across the calf and starts screaming at Amy and Lily like, "I will beat you
I
up. I
could.
will have you.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, let me show you what a man I am." And it's like, oh my god, you're
And
insane.
this is where I'm wondering about Tommy because why did Tommy not stick up for Lily in this situation? That's his
But
cousin.
he
That's his
kind of
family.
did. Well, he didn't, but he kind of did. Like he was telling Joel, like, "Mate, you've gone mad. Like, chill out, mate. Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
He
it
just said,
wasn't
yeah,
brilliant.
but
It wasn't ideal, but
no, this is where I'm like, because I think
didn't do
Lily and
enough.
Tommy did. Oh, mind you, did they fall out? I feel like they made up again though because Lily
Yeah, I
told
feel like
Kat something, but then
yeah,
I
I feel
think
like
that
they
they made
made
up
up.
again.
I feel that they did
Yeah, I
because
feel
when
like he
Lily,
should have had her back.
yeah, oh no, he 100% should have had her back, but I feel like he was his version of doing that. I think at that moment was telling Joel to calm down, like you've gone crazy, like stop this now, crazy. I tell you what, he ain't gonna be messing with Marie again.
Oh, I know. Well,
Oh,
too right.
Marie, oh, getting the ire of Marie. I've never seen her so cross. Shrimpy better
No.
behave.
Do you think he's barred now from CAF?
I would,
Surely.
I
I
mean, I
hope
would
so.
think so. I don't think I would thought so. I don't think you can really throw chairs around an establishment and expect to go
No,
back in the next day, can you?
no. But then, you know what? This is what makes me think that Tommy is believing it because I'm jumping ahead slightly, but he's hit Cat before.
Mm,
Now Joel's showing that he thinks it's okay to be violent against women.
yeah.
Tommy seemingly learned from that, but now if he's got a friend telling him actually no, they deserve it.
No, you did right, mate. Yeah, yeah, I know. It's dangerous. And then what was interesting later on was, I mean, Amy was channeling Roxy this week. I really enjoyed this because she strolls round to Vicky and Ross's and tells them everything. So when Joel gets home, he finds Amy standing there all smug, telling her, "Hey, if you think I'm ever going to be scared of you, you creep, you can think again." Strolls out and to leave Vicky and Ross to deal with him. And Ross goes a bit mad and pins him against the wall. Vicky's like, "No, stop, that's not helping," which this is the thing. I think you could. There's an argument that you could say that Ross and Vicky have been written maybe a little bit inconsistently with this storyline. But do you know what? Actually, that kind of works for this because they do not know what to do about this kid now, do they? They haven't got a
No,
clue. They
you
haven't got a
tell me off for
clue.
using that word,
I
Robert.
said it quietly. I bleeped
Oh,
myself.
right, so it's all right then.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like they
Yeah, they
haven't got a
don't know
clue
how
what to
to
do, have
handle
they?
it, do they? No, and but then what is Vicky's solution? Because she basically has a go at Ross and says, "Put him down. This isn't helping. You need to
Mm.
accept that you've not handled it
You're
right from the
responsible.
start." It's like, well, you can't go back in time and change how he handled it. So
No.
what's he supposed to do moving forward?
Yeah, what does he? What do you do when your kid is in this deep?
I'm telling
What
you,
do you do?
psychologist. That's what I'd be doing. I'd be
Is
going
it
straight to a
even?
psychologist.
Is it even too late for that? I would argue.
Well, I do think it is in this particular circumstance for what we're viewing. Yeah, I think someone like Tommy would be fine going at the stage he's at. But
Yeah,
then
Tommy can be saved, but
you've got to try and do something. They
oh
should
yeah,
just tell police. They should actually be telling
I,
police.
yeah, I think that's the only option available to them at this
They
point.
should have stopped covering it up. And
Yeah,
every time an incident happens now, they should be going to police
yeah,
because he's a threat to the world at this
yeah. He's
point, isn't
dangerous.
he?
He's
Yeah.
absolutely dangerous at this point. Like, and the fact that he is exploding like that in public and screaming that he will beat women up, like that's insane. Like,
Yeah.
there is no other option available to them at this point other than to ring the police.
Mm,
Sorry, Ross, you failed, and this
mm.
is now where we're at. Simple as that. But he's not going to do that, is he?
No, he's definitely not. I was surprised that Amy's not told Jack. I'd definitely be telling Jack, but I kind of get it, which makes me think Amy's now the next one who's in trouble.
Yeah, well, the way that Amy was sticking up to for herself this
Hmm.
week will not have impressed Joel one iota, I suspect.
No.
So there are a number of women, I think, at this point that are at specific risk of Joel
Hmm.
at this point. Vicky, Stacey, Amy, Lily,
Hmm.
maybe Avani.
Yeah.
Like,
Hmm.
any of them are in great danger. In fact,
Hmm.
all the women on that square are in danger as long as Joel is around.
Yeah, arguably. Even Kat, maybe,
Yeah, Kat's in danger because her and Joel have butted horns on more than one
run-ins.
occasion.
Hmm.
Yeah, so I don't know where this goes from here. Like, it's one of those storylines we were sort of like, how bad is this going to actually get? And you feel like if they're going to do the story fully, then like Joel, I mean, Joel's going to rape somebody at some point.
Yeah,
I
that's
feel
what it
like
feels
this,
like.
yeah,
Well, when we've been speculating about the gun and I said, oh, maybe it ends up with Joel, I kind of hope it doesn't end up with Joel because I don't
mm,
feel like that'd be a realistic way for this to go. Like, I'm not saying that if he didn't come across the gun, it wouldn't go that way, but I think they should keep with some of the realism that, in everyday life, he probably won't
yeah.
get a gun.
No,
And I
I
do
feel like,
think
yeah,
it's like you
yeah,
say,
yeah.
it'd be more likely that he'd, sexually assault somebody
Yeah, I feel like the pacing for this storyline in particular has been excellent. I feel like all the way through.
yes, it
So I
has.
hope
Yeah.
that they don't rush this because at the moment where that they've got this storyline absolutely right,
Mm,
and I feel like the whole idea with Joel is to show us how bad it could get if you don't
yeah,
step in sooner or if you're not
definitely.
keeping an eye on what's happening.
Hmm.
So where's it, when does this end? Like,
Well,
how? I mean, considering where Joel is at the minute, it
mhm.
feels like that's the next step of it. So really, he's not going to be around for that much longer. So maybe Halloween time is normally quite a big time for
Well,
EastEnders.
I was
So
just going to say, that AI image that's been going around that
yeah,
someone's
yeah,
done.
that's been
I
going
actually
around for a
think it might be
while
quite
now.
accurate, to be
Yeah,
fair. I
I
think,
think so. Yeah,
mm, and
yeah.
Halloween would kind of be a fitting time for it all, I
It
think.
would because it's a scary time and this is a
Mm,
scary storyline. So
very.
we shall see. With the phone wiping thing, Tommy and Joel discover Kat's old phone, and Tommy overhears Alfie's voicemail message, which leads us very nicely, folks, into the final storyline of the week. Final story of the week, folks, and this is the preamble into the return of Zoe next week. Interesting stuff here. How are you feeling about Zoe's return, Ree?
But,
No.
right. Rob is very disappointed about me saying this.
No, I get it. You're just ready for it to happen now, aren't you?
Yes, that's what it is. I'm
Yeah.
excited for Zoe to return, but I
Yeah.
feel like it's been way too long of a build up. It's just not made sense to me for the entirety of it, actually, that they've not told Kat. I don't
Mm.
think the reason has been good enough. To be fair, even Kat said it herself this week when Stacey said, she was gonna run off. She's like, she ran away, you
Yeah,
daft
she has
cow. I
run
was
off.
like,
You
yeah, so
failed.
why didn't you just tell her?
You
It just
can't find her. You've never been able to find her.
yeah, I don't feel like even though we saw Zoe with Stacey and Alfie, I still don't feel like that explained enough why they were so compelled to not tell Kat.
Mm.
Like
Yeah.
I feel like they could have just told Kat about a month ago.
Yeah. No, I
And then
agree.
Kat could have been part of it because
I
part
mean,
of this build up has been the fact that it's been a secret from Kat.
mm,
Whereas I feel like Kat could have just been in on it.
yeah.
That we've been waiting more for Kat to find out than for Zoe to return.
Yes, yes. I
Yeah?
mean, obviously, the reason it's been so long is that they wanted to
Yeah.
keep the whole Zoe return a secret. So what they would have done is filmed that, and then they would have filmed this after it had all been revealed that Zoe was back. So that would have been
Mm.
that. It kind of explains the gap. But
Yeah.
I agree with you. I'm very ready for next week to happen. Now Kat
Yeah.
knows. Now they can
Yeah.
stop because we've said a few times the whole kind of why Zoe is missing, the whole sort of keeping it from Kat didn't actually make that much sense really.
No.
So, I mean, where are you in terms of the Zoe Joel thing? We've been told on a few comments online that we're
All
wrong.
right, yeah, chill out,
I
people.
know
Like, oh, you need to
we
stop
disagree.
saying that, Zoe's Joel's mum. Well, we don't know for
I don't
sure.
know.
We're allowed to
What?
chuck his theories out there.
Where are you with that now? Like, I feel
Probably not
like
his mum.
I
I
feel like
agree, but I don't know. I don't know. Go
I
on,
don't
sorry.
know. I have absolutely no idea. I mean, it would I just be. I mean, yeah, I've said it all already. Just because this week did nothing to change that. The way that they are sort of putting Joel in place, like
Hmm.
imagine how gutted they'd all be that Joel is actually part Slater at this point. But
Yeah.
there are also elements that don't make sense for Zoe to be in any way connected to Joel. So I don't know.
You mean the part where his mum's called Cleo
Yeah,
and
that.
she's online
Yeah,
and Vicky's not
and
seen the
she's
picture? Is that the bit that
yeah,
you mean don't make
and she's getting
sense?
remarried apparently. Yeah, none of that makes sense in relation to
Well,
Zoe being Joel's mum whatsoever.
well, do you know what? To everyone who's been hating on us saying it, right? Well, check this theory that I read online, okay?
Oh, well, go on.
Right, that actually Cleo isn't even Joel's real mum. Cleo
Right.
was his stepmom that he believed was his real mum, but Zoe gave birth and abandoned him, and Cleo was his stepmom, but he doesn't know that she was his stepmom. That could be a thing.
Is
That weren't
it?
my theory, but
Unless
as
it was
far-fetched as that may
unless that
be,
turns out to be right, in which case that was definitely
in
Ree's
which case it was
theory.
all from me,
All
yeah.
Ree, all Ree.
It could still be Zoe. Why not? It actually, for me, it would make more sense that it is Zoe.
Mm. We shall see. We shall see how it all plays out. So Kat and Tommy back at loggerheads this week.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of this is Joel's is again is Joel, isn't it? The reason that
Mm,
Tommy is sort of falling out with Kat again is kind of to do with
mm.
Joel because Kat is trying desperately and understandably to try and keep Joel and Tommy apart. But Kat kind of gives up on that by the end of the week because she kind of thinks that Tommy hates her. And she says, you know what? If this makes you happy, go stay with Joel. Go stay with Zach. Like, go do what you want to
Mm.
do. And this obviously is because Tommy has found this voicemail messages and confronts Alfie with what he's
Yeah.
discovered. Now, is it that he? Because I kind of agreed with Kat. I kind of think Tommy does sort of like really struggle with Kat as a mum but Alfie tried to sort of allay that with no, he hates me. That's why he's being like this. Like, what did you think?
Yeah, I actually was more on Alfie's side than
Really?
that. Yeah, I think the way that he was acting was because he was conflicted about whether to tell Kat,
Mm,
and he's getting all these people saying to him that, family's everything, coming from his mum.
mm,
And he's thinking, well, you're saying that, mum, but what you don't know actually is that Alfie and your family, Stacey, are keeping this big secret from you. So what do you know? Yeah, who are you to tell me? But actually, he is angry mainly at Alfie, I think, because he's put him in that position. I don't agree. I think Kat was saying things very much in the moment and too impulsively. I understood what she was saying. She was trying to say, you don't ever seem happy when you're with me. Yet when I saw you at Zach's, you seemed like you were quite happy in that
mm.
environment. You've come back here, and I don't feel like you're that happy, Tommy, that you were with Zach. Well, of course he's going to be. He's with some guy that he thinks is quite cool, right?
Yeah.
So I think
Zach's
that's.
fit. Come on.
So,
Yeah, you know,
but for
I'd be
Kat
happier.
to say something like that when he is in a vulnerable state
Yeah.
is not a good thing. So then he's automatically feeling abandoned again, isn't he?
Yeah.
Mum's saying to you, fine, you know what? Go and stay with Joel then. Go and stay with Zach. Don't stay here if I make you so unhappy. Then he's thinking, oh, cheers, Mum, you're giving up on me then. It's sign of bother.
Where are you? Because I know you like to do this. Where are you in terms of Cat? Good mum?
I actually think Kat is a good mum deep
Mm-hmm.
down. I think
Okay.
she just says things in the heat. And to be honest with you, she's kind of in a similar situation to like Ross and Vicky. But I dare say she's been handling it better than them at least. She's nipping it in the bud a lot earlier on as much as she can.
Mm,
She's seen Joel kicking off in the cafe. She saw Tommy with him. And even though Tommy's sat there going, what were Joel doing? It's just like, you were there. I'm not letting you be part of this.
yeah.
Then she said things while she's angry in the moment. I thought a very good thing. I don't know if it was the direction or Jesse Wallace or who decided it. But did you see at one point when Tommy stood up,
Mm,
Cat flinched?
mm.
And
Which I
it
think you
shows,
would, wouldn't you? You would. I feel like after everything that went on with Tommy, like
mm,
that's going to be something that goes on for a considerable amount of time, way after
mm,
this storyline is finished. Because at the end of the day, you've seen Tommy when he explodes, and actually, you've learned to associate a Tommy explosion with me getting injured. It's
yeah.
like it's like any puppy, doesn't it?
Mm.
Like if you just associate it with punishment.
I think saying whether, I know we do often go, is he a good mum or not, but
Mm,
sometimes they can still be a good mum and not handle something maybe in the right
Yeah.
way in
People make
a
mistakes.
particular circumstance, particular,
I thought you were
a
going to throw. I thought you were
particular
trying to throw a really long
circumstance.
word at me there. I was like, oh,
I hate that one. No, because even when you're a parent, everything's new, isn't it? She's never
yeah,
had
of
to handle
course.
this scenario
No,
before, so she's
funnily enough.
learning how to handle it.
Yeah.
And what like we've been saying with the Joel thing, what is the right way of going about
Mm.
it? Yeah, I do think she's been a bit slow on the uptake. That actually Joel wasn't such a good influence, but I think they were so desperate for Tommy to have some proper friends as well
Yeah. Yeah.
along the way. So
I
yeah,
mean,
but saying that wasn't the best timing. But she
no.
recognises that afterwards. At least she's accountable for herself.
Yeah, I mean, Kat has made enough mistakes to sort of learn from her
Hmm.
experience, I would
Yeah.
say. In terms of Tommy and Joel's relationship, where do you think Tommy actually holds Joel in regard? Like, in terms of their friendship, do you think he's scared of him? Do you think that he likes him? Or do you just sort of think that he needs somebody around in his life?
I don't think he's scared of him, but I think that he relies on their friendship a lot. And it's
Mm.
like the only real friendship he feels like he's had. So he's more likely to go along with what he's saying. But like we've said, he's hit Cat before. So it's not like he wouldn't be open to those kind of views
Well,
in a
Kat said
way.
this, didn't she? Like, and it was absolutely right. Like, you're talking, you're hanging around with a guy who says that he's quite cheerful to hit women, and actually, you have hit women in the past. So, actually, it's no wonder you two are getting on like a house on fire, really.
Well, she said this. I was surprised because she said if you can hit your mum, of course you could hit any other woman. And I thought I don't agree with that actually.
Okay.
I feel like kids tend to take stuff out on the parents more. I don't,
Mm,
maybe not at Tommy's age, okay, maybe I'm excusing him too much. Obviously, I'm not condoning what he did, but kids are more likely to take things out on the parents than they would somebody else because you are a trusted person.
mm,
So I don't agree with her logic that because his own mum he'd hit any other woman, because I actually don't think Tommy would.
mm.
He knew what Joel were doing were wrong.
Yeah, but then again, I'm still of the persuasion of like Joel has openly, called Kat a slag and called
Okay.
Stacey a slag and called Lily
Mm,
a slag, and a
mm.
slapper and a sket. So you kind of like surely at some point it's on Tommy to say, do you know what, mate? Actually, don't talk about my family like that. Actually, you are a bit of a nutter. I'll see you later. I'm not
But
interested in our friendship. So
I think that he is too interested in the friendship though, and that's what's stopping him from sticking up for his family.
mm,
But I
it's
do think
interesting.
that some of it's got into his head. I think some of it has
Yeah,
got
oh,
into it.
absolutely. But I
Mm,
feel like it's interesting with Tommy and Joel, especially when Joel first arrived before we knew what Joel was. It
mm,
was like actually their difficulty in making friends was sort of what connected them in the first place.
yeah.
And I thought it was interesting this week when Joel was buying his tickets, well, trying to buy his tickets for Drake
Mm,
Zagan, that he automatically bought two or wanted to buy two,
yeah.
and I was trying to
Yeah.
work out if that was him sort of trying to manipulate, or actually there's a side of me that kind of thinks actually no, he just what he wanted, he thought Tommy would enjoy it and wanted to take his mate along with him.
Well, to him, it was like going to a gig, weren't it?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah, I'm not going to go on my own. Tommy will
yeah,
love this gig as well. Yeah, let's
yeah.
go together.
It's
Yeah.
interesting. It really, really
Mm.
is. Like this, there's elements to this storyline and sort of the layers of it and sort of the psychology behind it all is really, really
Mm.
fascinating. I love it.
Well, what's interesting about all this, though, right? So you're saying Tommy's not stuck up for any of his family.
Mm.
He's just gone to meet Zoe for the first time, isn't it?
How did he get Zoe's number?
From the burner phone.
Oh, so Kat had Zoe's number all
Oh,
this time.
no, no.
That's what I
Oh, yeah,
mean.
you're right.
How did he get Zoe's
No, Cat
number?
didn't have it. Maybe he's got it
Yeah,
off Alfie's phone then.
maybe he has, but
Probably just got
then
it off Alfie's phone.
maybe, yeah,
Yeah.
maybe. Yeah, so he messaged. I did feel quite sorry for Tommy at the point where he was crying in the park. I thought that was quite a
Yeah.
wretched sight of him. I'm still confused as to where Tommy's head's at completely. Like, was he just
I
doing
think he
all of that for
is.
Cat?
I think he's confused. I think
Yeah,
Tommy's confused about where his head's at. That's
mm,
why you were crying in the park like he was.
yeah,
Um, but so I think I don't know. I mean, Zoe, remember when she were into a prostitution at one point?
yes.
I do wonder. I don't know what path she's got out on at the moment, but we know
God
she's been
knows.
struggling. I wonder if Zoe could be a turning point for Tommy to realise everything that Joel's saying's wrong because he's going
Mm,
to go meet his sister. He might empathise with her more, or at least sympathise for her situation, and
yeah,
then Joel's going to end up maybe saying something about Zoe at some point if it's not his mom, and and
but
then
then
Tommy might start sticking up for Zoe, and that might be the turning point
yeah,
for him.
But then again, this is another point of why it would make a lot of sense in terms of story and ultimate sort of like
Mm,
boom sort of thing
mm,
for Zoe to be Joel's mum, because
yeah.
actually bringing somebody like Zoe into Joel's life, given his opinions on women and given his opinions on what women get
Mm,
up to, and and seeing where Zoe is actually at in her life right now, it's sort of like, let's see what you make of this actually being your mum, and how that affects Tommy and Joel's relationship in terms of Tommy trying to stick up with Zoe and thereby trying to bring her back into Kat's life. It's sort of like, where does everybody sit with this? Like, it's interesting to sort of see the different dynamics that are involved in this.
mm-hmm.
And this is what I mean. Like, yes, there's elements of it that make zero sense in terms of like, how is this possible? But at the same time, it's sort of like there's enough going on there for it to be the perfect revolution to the story. Resolution, not revolution. That's turning
Yeah, I know
around.
what you mean.
Resolution to the story.
Or
It's
revelation. Yeah,
revelations. Yeah, any of them really. It's a bit one.
it could be, but anyway, either way. I mean, okay, let's say that Zoe isn't Joel's mum.
Mm.
What is the deal with Joel's mum then?
Yeah,
It's
who the
just
hell
that
is
she
she?
had an
Who the hell
affair.
is Cleo? That's the
Who is
song goes.
Cleo?
Yeah, I yes.
Cleo,
Who the hell
who's
is Cleo?
Cleo?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I don't know. And then if it isn't Zoe, then presumably we've got to meet Cleo at some point as well,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
So I don't know.
And she's
There
been
is some,
mentioned,
yeah,
so
there is some huge twist coming with
yeah,
Cleo either
yeah.
way, isn't there? Like, if
Maybe
it's
Zoe
not
might
Zoe,
just know Cleo or something. Maybe she's
I mean, that
been
would be
with
helpful.
Cleo.
Oh, by the way, I brought my mate Cleo along with me. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Who's married to Max? And then it all just sort of tumbles
Bish
nicely
bash
together.
bosh.
Bish bash bosh. There you go, sorted. Yes, but Tommy does meet up with Zoe, and it ends up with some rough flats, and Zoe agrees to meet up with her. It's interesting that Tommy sent the message of "I can't deal with my mum anymore either," and so it's sort of like he's instantly trying to find something in common with Zoe. You ran away. This is also what I'm doing. So, but also interesting that Zoe agreed to meet up with him, considering that she doesn't want to see Kat.
Hmm. And she can't be that far away either.
No,
If
yeah,
you
because
manage to go,
yeah, like what, a tube journey away at the very most.
yeah, yeah, I reckon so. But
So
yeah, so they're gonna end up bonding over their hatred for Cat. I feel like this hatred for Cat's come a bit. I don't know. I don't feel like Tom. I feel like Tommy was getting on with her before
yeah,
this.
I don't know if it is hatred for Kat. I feel like maybe having spoken about it, I feel like maybe Alfie's right, and he was actually sort of just pushing his frustrations with Alfie onto Kat because
Mm,
that's what Kat would expect, and actually Kat's
yeah,
read it as that. Rather,
yeah,
and Tommy's
yeah.
just sort of
That's what
gone,
I took it as.
yeah, and then Tommy's just sort of, when she's presented that Tommy with that, he's sort of just gone, yeah, sure, that works,
Yeah.
and then he's gone to meet Zoe. So I don't know if he's going to return with Zoe, like, surprise, I found your daughter. Um, what's his? I mean, right. So Zoe's back next week. What's going to happen? Please give me some clues. What do you reckon?
I wonder if it's just going to be Tommy's going to keep messaging her or something, and she's going to be like, right, I need to. I can't let my mum cat, destroy my brother's life or something, and she's going to go back in that.
Do you think that's what it's going to be? Is Tommy just going to tell her a load of lies, or
I don't know. I don't know how else. We don't know enough about Zoe's actual situation to really understand what circumstance she'd come back under. I don't think.
and what the hell is this big secret that she's keeping?
Well, this is it. This is it. What is this big secret?
Mm. Gold star this week, Ray.
Oh, this is a tricky one for me. Um, I might go. I were actually debating Joel,
Fair?
'cause I think
No?
he's. Not obviously don't condone anything,
I
but
think you
Max
do
Murray
condone it.
does.
I think that's what you do. I think that's what you're saying, really. Completely and utterly
I think
condoning
he's.
cell behaviour.
I think he's so good at like. I
Max
hate
Murray's,
him.
yeah, Max Murray is
I hate him.
phenomenal.
So
Yeah,
well done, Max
he's
Murray. So yeah,
incredible.
Joel. Why
And
not?
actually, funnily enough, I was going to give mine to Amy this week.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Fair. Yeah. All right.
Amy massively impressed me this week. I am very excited about next week. It looks to be a pretty cataclysmic week for the Square. I've seen some pictures, and what I would say is, I think they've got the rain bars out for the first time in years. You
The
know,
what?
those
Sorry.
rain bars. So it's these massive, like in the old days of EastEnders, when the big climax was coming, and they would have apocalyptic rain on the square.
Oh, right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's how it's made.
I was literally going to say when you say now Zoe
Yeah,
going to come back white in the
yeah,
rain
in the
because of the
rain.
trailer.
But they
Yeah,
never.
I
But
literally
apparently, it's
said that.
quite expensive
Right.
to have the rain bars, and they've not had them in years and years. Like, do you remember, like
Right.
in really big moments, like the Whitney Tony Bianca reveal? It was
Yes.
absolutely pissing it down. The cast were nearly drowned.
Ooh.
Those sorts of things. From the pictures that we've seen of Zoe on the square, it looks like it's raining. So I'm excited just to see the atmosphere of it all. It looks to be a pretty big week. Let us know who your gold star is going to. Let us know your final theories about how next week is going to play out. And we will finish the podcast as usual, guys, with some comments from you. Before we go on to some comments, a little bit of news. EastEnders is set to produce a documentary spin-off from the dark misogyny storyline and feature key cast members. It has been revealed that the documentary will feature cast members from the soap, and executives hope it will open up further discussions. This is exactly the sort of thing they should be doing with this storyline.
I agree.
This is
And
this,
having,
yeah,
conversations with the cast and
yeah,
the producers and why they've decided to do this story now, etc. Yeah, great.
yeah,
It makes total sense. I'd
yeah.
like to see Max Murray not being Joel as well, and like,
Yeah, it'd be interesting to sort of see what kind of research he's had to do for this storyline as well, as wouldn't it?
that's
Like,
true.
it might help him actually to appear on screen like, I'm not Joel. This is what I'm like, and I'm actually
Yeah,
quite a nice person. Yeah,
yeah,
but yeah, he is phenomenal, and I'm looking forward to sort of hearing, because presumably if it's going to feature cast members, he's going to be one of them. So it'd be
yeah,
really interesting to
surely.
sort of hear his views on the storyline as
Yeah.
well, wouldn't it? Yeah, really,
Does it
really
say when it's
exciting.
going to be released? This, I don't
No,
remember
because it
seeing
hasn't
that.
actually been officially confirmed. This is one of those little
Okay.
leaks things that they
Oh, another
someone's
little
got
leak.
another little leak, but it does appear to be happening, so that's exciting. So more details about that presumably coming soon. Comments this week, Ray.
We've got a comment from Chris Shaw who said, shout out to the extra in the cafe who was built like a brick shithouse, who carried on listening to his podcast and did nothing when a teenage boy started shouting at two teenage girls and threw a chair across the room.
Yeah, I did
Yep.
see him. Yeah, he didn't care, did he?
No, I sent you a little. Do you
You
remember me
did.
sending you a picture of him and being
Yeah.
like, what's this guy doing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
brilliant. Yeah, he was. Yeah, I figured that if he started on Joel, Joel would have soon shut up. I
Yeah.
suspect. Yeah,
Yeah.
very good. Karen Cowley has said, "Why is it that no one in Patrick's family is questioning where the money went? Seems rather odd to me. When Harry's involvement in the sad situation is revealed to all, he will find no sympathy. Can very well see Denzel being devastated and let down. Regarding the Joel situation, Amy had his number from the start, loving how she's becoming such a strong, independent young woman who respects herself. Finally, those plastic toy guns were figured very prominently in the last few episodes, especially that scene with Kim and Denise, foreshadowing perhaps." Yeah, so I mean, first of all, with the money,
Ooh.
that's not a bad point. Like, are any of them questioning the money thing whatsoever?
Yeah, I was thinking this, and then I just assumed that they're going to think he gave it to the person that he needed to pay off. So they're just assuming that that person's got it, is what I've thought.
Yeah,
But yeah, surely not only would it be bad enough that you've assaulted Patrick, but you would be like, well, give us money back then. If we're not going to go to the police, least you can do is try and pay him back. But no,
yeah.
no one's even mentioned it, have
Because
they?
Harry's got the money at the minute, hasn't he?
Yeah, Howie's got
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
maybe Howie could give it back to Oscar to like pay Patrick back, but maybe,
yeah.
oh, it's probably spent it, hasn't he? Let's be
Probably,
honest.
probably. This is not going to go well for Harry whatsoever, is it?
No.
In terms of who you think is going to be on the end of this gun, go on, give us your official prediction. Who's getting shot?
Oh, do you know what? I actually think it's too early to say for sure right now, but as of this week, Howie, like you said, or
Mm,
Joel.
yeah,
I
I
feel
don't
like
know.
Howie's exit's imminent, even though nothing's been said.
I feel like Howie's exit is imminent as well. I feel like Howie might be a surprise exit.
Yeah,
Joel, I feel like there's more of the story to tell, especially since I've
yeah,
got this documentary apparently announced. So I
yeah.
feel like Joel is off the charts for a second. So it's either going to be Howie or Oscar, which brings Max back.
Okay, yeah. So he's just going to get wounded and not.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah.
Yeah.
I can go with that one. Yeah.
But let us know your thoughts in the comments, or of course, you can always do the following.
You can find us on Facebook at Albert Square After Dark, on Twitter and Instagram at E20 After Dark. If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe. You can listen to us on Apple and wherever you find your podcasts. Drop us an email at e20afterdarkpodcast@gmail.com. And if you'd like to buy us a coffee, you can do so by going on buymeacoffee.com/E20 After Dark.
Yes, you can indeed. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for listening. Big week next week, folks. Make sure you're here for us to be discussing the fallout. And make sure you are following us on all our socials for any sort of announcements or anything that we might be making in the coming weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Just you wait. Until then, it's goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me.
See you soon. Goodbye.
Bye.